Hello, in this class we want to start downloading the XAMPP. So to do that, let's log in first. So we have logged in. As I mentioned before, when we are creating in one of the introduction video here, I'll just go a little bit so that you see what it means with the details we are getting here. So here, this is the version of the Linux we are using. So it's 22.04.1 LTS. LTS is for long term service. And the Linux we have here 5.1. This is the kernel for this Ubuntu we are using. Documentation, this is where we could go to get more information. Now, if we have got a problem you want to rectify, you could ask for the support from here, but also you could get more information using the help.ubuntu.com. Now today is the Sunday, the 2nd of October, and that's the time, and that's the year 2022. So the processor, processors running here, we have got 103, and this is just the consumption in the hard disk, so which we are using. So about 50 gigabits is being used at 17.8%, and the memory out of 100 we are just using 7%, so it's minimal. And the swap memory we are not using anything in there. And we have got 2 IP addresses, so that's for the Docker. So we use a lot of Docker container, and also here we have got the IP address, which the domain is .10. So 168.192, so it's 192.168.10. so this is the domain. So what it means is I could have lots of computers, and all of them they can get attached to this. Then I could have separate other, let's say 2 other computers. So this for argument's sake, they could be connected somehow, let's say here, and this could be 10.10.2.0. so these are 2 networks, and in between here they could have a switch or a router to get the data from that side to the other network and other network to that side. So the domain here, the most important thing is this as a network. So here, as a user, we need now to download the program and install it. So it's time to do that. So I'll just clear the screen here. So here I will issue a command, clear, so it clears the screen. Now I will do change directory, then I'll go in options, then if I do ls, there is nothing in here. So what we'll do here is go to the actual website. So this is the website I've been mentioning, and I'm in the download HTML. So we have got for Windows here, but the one we are after is for Linux. That is for Mac. So here I'm not after PHP 7.4. I want the very latest, which is 8.1. How I know is the latest 8.1? If I go to the PHP website, that's the new one. So we are installing the new one, which is 8.1. Now here, what I'll do is I'll get the properties of download 64-bit. How do I know it's a 64-bit? If we go onto here, we do sudo, then uname, then give it a password, because this is privileged information. So as you can see here is let's get a pen so I can easily point out. So this is the 64-bit. So that's how we know that we need to download a 64-bit package for installation. So here I'll come here, copy address, then I'll come to the terminal. Now in the terminal here, I will use a program. Before I use the program, I will type sudo, because I want that root privilege, the admin privileges. Then I'll use wget. So this is the program. Then I will do paste. So to do a paste, because it's on the clipboard, I'll get my notepad here and paste it there. So this is what we will type in with the wget. So let's type that. So before I proceed here, there's some alterations we need to make. So make sure you take that one off, so you don't type there. This is all you need to type in. And here press enter. So here we have got some typo, I think. So let me find out what is that typo. So I find the typo here is supposed to be .10, then XAMPP Linux 64-bit, yeah, okay. So here let's just press enter. Yeah, here we go. So that was just the typo. Now as you can see, it's downloading the XAMPP with no problem. So once it's finished, we'll come back to it, and in fact we can wait, because it's not even taking a minute to download. I think we just have to be patient. There we are, we are finished. So if I do ls, you can see that there is a XAMPP here. So to install this, what we need to do is simple. Let's clear the screen so we can better see what we are doing here. And then if I do ls again, that's the program. So if I do ls minus alt, I'm seeing more of the details of the program here, but the one which I'm more interested in is this portion here. Only root can be able to read and write, but I want to be able to execute this, which is the X. So for me to be able to run this installer, what I'll do here is I'll issue a command, but before I issue command, I'll do sudo, then chmod, chmod, then a plus x, then the program I want to change, then place enter. So if I do ls minus alt, we can see that now there's a change here where we can now read, write, execute, read, and execute. So we are ready to install this. So to proceed in installing this, we'll do sudo again /, then the name of the program, and we place enter. So here we are telling the installer to go and install. So here we are getting the click next when you are ready to continue. So we need a capital Y here. So I will switch on to capitals. Then here I will accept that yes, we want some developers file. So I'll place enter. So is the selection above correct? Yes, it's correct. Installation directory, so that's where we are installing. You could install in different places, but the default is option, which I like. So we'll leave option, opt as the folder we want to use. So we'll just press enter. So here is asking us if it setup is now ready to begin installing Xampp. Yes, that's what we want. Press enter. So here is just installing the Xampp in the Festoon server. So we could pause a little bit so that we can just conserve a few minutes before we move, or we can leave it here because I can see it's progressing nicely. So once we finish this, in the next video I'll show you how we start the Xampp and be able to browse to the web page so that we see that the Xampp is working. Now, as you can see, we have finished the installation. So if I do clear here in lowercase, then we do list, we see that now we have got a folder. Let me take a pen because it's in blue, dark blue, so you might not see it better, but that's the folder there. The folder is called XAMPP. So to start this folder, we are going to do cd/XAMPP. So we are going inside XAMPP. Then once we are inside here, we are going to issue a command ./XAMPP start. So once we start, we'll have the Apache 2 starting, then PHP, Perry, and not also forget my SQL. So we need to go to a web page with the IP address of this Ubuntu, which we say was 192.168.10. Let's find out the last digit. So to find out the last digit, we will do ifconfig. Now here is, so that's the IP address there, which is 132. So it's 132. So we need to go to a web page and type 192.168.10.132. So let's do that. So clear the screen here. We'll get a web browser. We'll get a new tab here. So I put 192.168.10.132. So if I press enter, you see now I've got the dashboard here. So you could see that now here we have got the IP address 132. So if I do change directory into XAMPP, you see we have got the folders I talked about. Now the one we want is the XAMPP, this one. So what we'll do here is just do sudo so it's sudo XAMPP. Let's put stop. So we are stopping all the services. So if we go back again here, refresh this, you see that now we don't have the web page. But if I come here again and do start, you see all the services have started, and I'll just refresh, and here we are. So that's how we install XAMPP in Facetune. The remaining of the other task we need to do is just making this to be a proper fortress, as Facetune says, and using that diagram. So we have managed to install HTTP SQL in one go, including PHP in one go. So with that, I thank you for viewing.